they were less excited to come out and vote for him than they were excited about his opponent, Mikey Sherrill. But all in all here, I think there's a takeaway from voters that perhaps his alignment to the president, even if he tried to distance himself yesterday, including in our interview, didn't work in his favor. Kristen?
Great reporting. Julie Sirkin, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. From the headquarters of Jack Ciattarelli, I do want to go back now to NBC News Chief Data Analyst Steve Kornacki, who's been following all of the key races tonight. Steve, I've been texting with some of my sources.
So where does
is that big night for Democrats? Not just because
I think that's a blue state anyway, right? Or blue city anyway.
We're talking about the margins.
The margins, yeah, and I think we were talking a few minutes ago in New Jersey about these voters who were available to Republicans like Jack Ciattarelli when Trump wasn't president, and clearly are not now that Trump is back as president. And I think you look ahead to 2026, and I understand, you know, that these are blue states, but there's going to be congressional districts that are up in 2026, competitive districts, Republican districts that Democrats are trying to flip. And I think that type of voter looms large in a lot of potential battlegrounds next year. So I think this is fascinating from that standpoint. And also, we said from the standpoint of this was something that the polling was suggesting was going to be a problem or a challenge for Ciattarelli, winning over the level of support from Hispanic voters or anything approaching that that Trump was able to last year. By the way, we're saying this in New Jersey. We took a look in Virginia as well. You look at the most heavily Hispanic areas where Trump made some inroads. You know, Prince William County, Loudoun County, even Manassas Park. It's small, but it's the most Hispanic by population city in Virginia. All of those gains from Trump undone tonight in this gubernatorial election. One other thing I did want to show too, just talking about New York City. I had mentioned this before, but just check in because most of the vote is in, and it is hovering at about that 50 to 41, 50 to 42
I know, I did.
range. Mamdani, just a touch over 50% right now with these returns. We'll see if he finishes.
Bro, I gotta put it like way up here. Hold on.
But I think I'd mentioned it earlier, and I wanted to make sure to show it to you. We did ask this question in our exit poll of New York City voters. If this were a two-way race, just Mamdani and Cuomo, how would you vote? And this is what we found.
So we got Mamdani. Looks like Mamdani is the winner.
6 not sure. So again, one thing that struck me looking at these results tonight was how much the voters sort of decided. There were voters who clearly were not going to vote for Mamdani and really did seem to decide at scale that Curtis Sliwa was not a viable candidate.
New York is cooked, bro. NYC is cooked, bro.
You know, looks like about an
8-9
loss for him. You know, he was staring at some much deeper gaps in polls. You know, all of those polls that had him with those much deeper gaps.
Talked to people yesterday about this. Had someone on live, and they're talking about socialism and being a social democrat and all this kind of stuff. And they're trying to explain how, oh, it's not, communism. It's not this. It's not that. It's just that anywhere in our country where we had little bits of socialism, it was good. It was a good thing, and had to remind them that communism starts out with, oh, it's just a little bit of socialism. It's a little bit of this, a little bit. No, everything's going to be the same. And slowly but surely, it turns into straight communism. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Actually, we're getting a much bigger share of the vote. So again, I just think maybe there was no circumstance that Curtis Sliwa was going to drop out of this race. I know there was a lot of pressure on him from folks to do that. Maybe there was no circumstance, but I think if you're Cuomo and you're looking at this, boy, that one might haunt you a little bit. If there was any way you could have pulled it off, any more gestures you could have made or something, because a two-way race here, we got a lot of evidence here, would have been a barn burner in New York City.
It would have been an absolute game
What up, State Line?
Steve, let's go back to Virginia since we haven't talked about it in a little while. Just remind folks of the margins in that race, with Abigail Spanberger becoming the first woman governor-elect of Virginia. And
New York is cooked, bro.
The margin hugely.
Governor-elect of Virginia.
We talked about Virginia.
It's a flip, bro. And dude, it's Democrat. Wow, bro. Oh my God.
Donald Trump had made some real gains in Virginia last year. He got the margin down to 6 points. He lost it by double digits in 2020. So he made gains in Virginia. The story for Trump's gains in Virginia was really, it was a story up here. A lot of it was up here. A lot of it was in Northern Virginia. A lot of it was in these very blue parts of Northern Virginia.
State line, did you have anything to vote for in
better than he had,
Illinois?
Better than Republicans had been doing. Had that continued across the rest of the state, Trump might have actually put Virginia in play in 2024. It actually didn't around the rest of the state. So take a look at what's happening tonight. We mentioned Loudoun County earlier. I showed you that enough. Let me show you this one, because this is another giant county here, Northern Virginia.
Are you serious? The lieutenant governor is a Muslim? I got to pull this up, dude.
Virginia, outside D.C., Prince William County. Now, this has been a Democratic county for a while here, but the margin tonight, this is basically a 34-point victory for Abigail Spanberger. Just check this out. This is what it looked like in the presidential race a year ago. It was a Democratic win, but it was only 18 points. Spanberger has essentially doubled Kamala Harris's margin in this gigantic population-dense county outside Northern Virginia. We saw that in Loudoun. We see it in Prince William. We see improvement in Fairfax County. These are giant, giant population centers. So all of the losses, all of the sort of underperformance that Democrats had in 2024 in Northern Virginia, gone. As a matter of fact, you might say this
Muslim woman elected to state office. Wow, bro.
Does raise the question of the shutdown of federal
It's a straight takeover, bro.
The federal government to the economy.
Holy smokes, it's a straight takeover.
Role here. And then the other thing that happened for Spanberger,
we got Mamdani, straight up communism into New York. And then now we got, as you said, wow, bro, the lieutenant governor. Oh my God, bro, of Virginia is Muslim. Dude, the lieutenant governor of Virginia is Muslim.
So that literally the Muslims are going to come over? Great.
Literally Muslims are taking over, bro. It's what?
Is that done?
No, almost here.
Ridiculous.
Wow, bro. I hate to say it random, but wow, man, it is crazy. You're right, state line. This shit's gonna spread fast, dude.
She did represent this area in Congress, but I want to show you Chesterfield because this is big, growing.
What up, Quantum?
Right outside of Richmond. Now, this is a county last year. This was one of the few big counties in the United States of America that, as the whole country pretty much was becoming more red, became more blue, and that trend continued tonight.
Dude, this is a straight takeover, bro.
Last year, Abigail Spanberger wins it by 13 tonight. You take a look. When Glenn Youngkin, the Republican, got elected 4 years ago, he was able to win this county. Again, we're talking.
This is why Poland is doing what they're doing. They saw this coming. They're not down for this. He says, other than this obvious shock on these elections, I'm not shocked, bro, in New York. I don't underestimate the power of the idiocy of the left in New York. I really don't. It's absolutely bizarre, bro, what they're doing and what they're down for. It's just unreal. Wow. That is insane, bro. Let me pull this in. That is just absolutely crazy.
Problem. Muslims living with Hindus.
How soon we forget.
Muslims living with Sikhs. Problem. Muslims living with Hindus. Problem. Muslims living with Baha'is. Problem. Muslims living with Shintos. Problem. Muslims living with Buddhists. Problem. Muslims living with Christians. Problem. Muslims living with Muslims. Very big problem. So this led to, they're not happy in Gaza. They're not happy in Egypt. They're not happy in Libya. They're not happy in Iran. They're not happy in Iraq. They're not happy in Yemen. They're not happy in Pakistan. They're not happy in Syria. They're not happy in Lebanon. They're not happy in Nigeria. They're not happy in Kenya. They're not happy in Sudan. They're not happy in Morocco. And they're not happy in Afghanistan. So, where are they happy? They're happy in Australia. They're happy in Belgium. They're happy in France.
They're happy running our government now.
Happy in Holland. They're happy in Italy. They're happy in Germany. They're happy in Spain. They're happy in Sweden. They're happy in Denmark. They're happy in the USA and Canada. They're happy in Norway and India.
And the problem, I hear people that say, oh, it's okay, let them come in and ruin shit, and then we'll really figure it out, and we'll learn not to make that kind of a mistake and not go towards socialism again, and we have to learn our lesson every 20, 30 years or something like that. And it's like, dude, people don't get it. When these people come into power, they put their talons in, bro. They don't go out. They come in and they stay in, bro.
They're very happy in England. Loads of welfare benefits. They're happy in almost every country that is not Islamic. And who do they blame? Not Islam. Not their leadership. Not themselves. They blame the countries they are happy in. And they want to change the countries they're happy in to be like the countries they came from where they were not happy. Muslims living with Sikhs.
Wow, bro. That is insane. So now we got Mamdani, Muslim running the biggest city of our country, and then we got
how many refugees?
And then we got a lieutenant governor that's Muslim in Virginia. Wow.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you're asking me about Muslims' illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants, I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
0. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Suburban voters who were comfortable voting for a Republican when Donald Trump wasn't president, who aren't comfortable voting for Republicans with Trump back on the scene. So again, the Democratic
and we made it a real race when the media had already commenced the coronation. For discriminating, great campaign managers, taking my time, you're taking my time. First, I love you too. I love you too. Let me acknowledge part of my special campaign team. We have from the right, Telef Lundaval, the new son-in-law, husband of Mariah. We have Mariah, Cara, Michaela. I want to thank our campaign chairman, Bill Mulrow, our great campaign manager, Greg Goldner. I want to thank Mayor Adams, who stepped out of the race to make us more competitive, and that was a very gracious thing to do. I want to thank Mayor Bloomberg, who gave us his support, Governor David Patterson, all the unions. And I am blessed to have the people in this room. You have been a phenomenal team, great friends. You are superstars. Even more, you are New York patriots. And I am proud of you. This campaign was the right fight to wage. And I am proud of what we did and what we did together. This campaign was to contest the philosophies that are shaping the Democratic Party, the future of this city, and the future of this country. And this coalition transcended normal partisan politics. It brought together Democrats and Republicans and independents, joined by the simple fact that their first allegiance is as citizens of New York City. 2 million voters, the largest number in modern political history, cared enough to show up in a municipal election.
Wow. This is just live a few minutes ago, so I just replayed it live from literally minutes ago. He's on stage talking as we speak. What's up, Selena? Thanks for joining.
And 42% voted for us on an independent line.
That is pretty huge, but it's just the way the thing was set up.
That is the highest percentage in modern history. Ironically, it is just higher than when Mario Cuomo got 40% on an independent line against Ed Koch in 1977. It's also important to note that almost half of New Yorkers did not vote to support a government agenda that makes promises that we know cannot be met. We support an economy of jobs, of opportunity, of entrepreneurship. That's what New York is, and that's what New York must remain.
Good luck with that, buddy. New York is toast, bro. Quantum's in the chat says, what was once the free colonies built on freedom and capitalism is now making a major shift to Marxism control, putting themselves back under the thumb of a tyrannical party. I'm going to read this book. I think I showed you this already. This is a Marxism by Thomas Sowell. I'm going to read this book, and I want to learn about Marxism and learn what does not work. But I do want to learn the ins and outs of it, so I'm more educated. But we also have Selena in the chat says, victory for AOC, fall of NYC. Wow. Wow, guys. Mamdani, communism, Islam for New York, and Lieutenant Governor in Virginia, Muslim. Guys, we already have what we have in Minnesota. We already have what we have with wherever that Dearborn police force that has now Arabic on their badges, or on their patches, I should say. They're infiltrating our country, bro, and they're getting in. They're getting into, our government. They have a plan. They're dead set on it. They're zoomed in. They're focused in. Their eyes on the prize. And it doesn't make sense for any of us why anyone would leave the countries they hate to come to countries that they love, to turn back into the countries that they hated and ran away from. And that's what they're doing. Starting with the biggest city in our country. Biggest city in our country. NYC is cooked. NYC is dust, bro.
We are a nation of laws, and we believe in law and order, and we need the police to keep society safe.
Man, it's a bummer that nothing he says is going to change the fact that communism is going to wreak havoc on New York City. Selena says, NYC will be like Londonistan. Yeah, dude. Holy smokes, guys. Not trying to be a Debbie Downer. We're gonna have a little fun, don't worry, but holy cow, guys.
We will not make the NYPD the enemy. We cherish our diversity.
What's up, Tamara? What's up, Spider?
Tolerance for discrimination of any kind by race, religion, sexual orientation, or creed. And we will not tolerate any behavior that fans the flames of anti-Semitism or diverse attacks.
Wow, dude. Wow, wow, wow.
Our strength is our unity. Black, white, brown, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist. We are one. We are the family of New York. We believe in interconnection and mutuality and codependence. And you attack.
Now you're going to have to believe in Islam, dog. Now you're going to have to hear the prayers. Just time before you hear the prayers 5 times a day coming down from all the towers in New York, dude.
One of us, you attack all of us. That is what it means to be a New Yorker. No one and nothing will ever divide us. And this campaign was necessary to make that point. A caution flag that we are heading down a dangerous, dangerous road. Well, we made that point, and they heard us, and we will hold them to it. Also, my friends, feel proud because we accomplished the 2.
Spider in the chat says, why can't they just set their phone alarms to play that music? Well, you're talking about the Muslim prayer that they're going to be hearing 5 times a day because they want to push it onto everyone else. Muslims, unlike any other, or I should say more so than any other religion, push their religion onto others. And, you know, it's just one of those things. And that's why they have to have it. What city is that they already play it in our country? They play their prayers 5 times a day on the loudspeakers.
Important New York characteristics. We got up off the mat after the primary.
Dearborn, Michigan, bro. Yeah, exactly. Dearborn, Michigan.
We made it a real race when the media had already commenced the coronation.
Dearborn's cooked. Minnesota is cooked. You got the Somalis over there. Now you got Virginia has a lieutenant governor that's Muslim. Virginia's cooked. Now you got the biggest city in the country, New York City, Muslim communism, bro. Whew. If that's not a wake-up call to all of you Americans, all of us Americans, if that's not a call to wake up, I don't know what is, dude.
And feel proud because we fought our hearts out and we left it all on the field. Congratulations to Zoran Mamdani.
Screw that dude, bro. Screw that dude, bro. What the hell are we doing? Dude.
No. That is not right. That is not right, and that is not us. That is not us. Tonight was their night, and as they start to transition to government, we will all help any way we can because we need our New York City government to work. We want it to work for all New Yorkers because our city is the greatest city in the world, and we will unite for New York City because we love New York City. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank each and every one of you. I love you for the fight you made, for the soul that you showed, and the example that you set. New York City heard us, and we will be the better for it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Good luck with that, dog. Good luck with that. Good luck with New York being the better for it. Let's see what happens, dude. Let's see what happens, man. New York is cooked, is finished, bro. Stick a fork in New York, bro.
promises. He
Wow.
believes that he has a mandate to execute.
Stick a
those.
fork in New York, bro. It's done.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
From ABC News election headquarters in New York, here's Lindsay
Dude, it is finished, dude.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for streaming with us. It is 11 p.m. here on the East Coast. The polls have just closed in California. We are calling here at ABC News that Proposition 50 in California has been a yes. The California residents have decided to redraw the state's congressional maps. We are going to get more on that in just a little bit. But first, we do want
Holy shit. What the hell? Dude, I literally went and voted for California Prop 50. I voted no on it. And so many people were against it. Wow, bro. They redistricted. Oh my God, bro. They're going to redraw California maps.
Headquarters, and he is about to take the stage.
Wow.
Any moment, Zoran Mamdani is going to come into this ballroom here in downtown Brooklyn and speak to hundreds of his boisterous supporters who waved goodbye to his main rival, Andrew Cuomo, when his face came up on screen. And they are here to celebrate this historic victory. A 34-year-old Democratic socialist with little political experience is the new voice of New York. Voters saw in him someone who could make New York City more affordable. That was his promise. Free buses, free childcare, a freeze in the rent, an overhaul perhaps of the New York City police.
Dude, she just said California Prop 50 is a yes. Oh no.
Voters who have not lived in New York very long, less than 10 years, voted overwhelmingly for Mamdani. So did voters who rent and do not own property. The property owners went for Cuomo. Mamdani won with a cross-section of boroughs in Manhattan, in Queens, and in Brooklyn. Staten Island and the Bronx seem to favor Andrew Cuomo. But
Random,
Mamdani
we need you, bro. Hang in there, bud.
For all.
Hang in there, bud. We need you, bro. Holy cow.
For many New Yorkers, this is now going to be the time when they get to know him, because his breakout campaign, Lindsay, seemed to come from nowhere.
And Aaron, before we let you go, Mr.
His relative youth. He's going to be the youngest mayor in a century here in New York City. And he tried to show a common touch to convince New Yorkers he was more like them than their politicians. He would campaign at nightclubs. He sat in the nosebleeds to watch the Knicks. Andrew Cuomo sat courtside. And
I can't believe it, bro.
The cheers go up as there are various tweets from Democratic politicians supporting Zoran Mamdani.
Communism is here, bro.
Senator Bernie Sanders.
Holy shit, bro. Communism is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Who came from a
Say hello to the commies, bro. They are here. They are here.
Beta. Beta male.
The commies are here, bro.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are they crazy, bro? Have they lost it? Sharia law, communism. Wow, bro. It is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Privilege adopted a worldview that would really undercut that background, focusing on people who are poorer, who were struggling to pay rent, who were struggling with meeting the needs of child care, and he rode those concerns to a victory here, earning the cheers of a crowd that's now ready to welcome him.
We certainly hear that welcome. All right, Aaron, we'll come back to you in a moment.
Nikki says, I don't feel safe going to work tomorrow. Why not? What is that? What are you scared of?
Let's go now back into the Election Command Center, where we find ABC News' Washington Bureau Chief Rick Klein. Rick, what are you looking at?
we
well,
are.
Now that we have the answer on this proposition in California, this is the new map of House districts that will be in place for next year. As you can see, Democrats think they will get 5 additional seats. The Republicans will.
Oh my God, bro. Look at this. Holy shit, bro. This is, dude, I am right here. I am right here right now in this little area right here, Orange County. That's where I'm at right now. I went and literally stood in line for 45 minutes to go vote no on Prop 50. And they're saying that it's a done deal. They're going to redistrict and make California even more Democrat, so it's rigged pretty much forever. Wow. They're going to get 5 more seats, bro.
Will go their delegation potentially from 9 down to as few as 4, as basically they draw up, they carve up the state in a way that spreads the Republicans very thin, just off of the coast entirely. That is a remarkable change for California, which has traditionally had some of the closest and most competitive races, particularly since they changed the whole system of redistricting, giving it to a nonpartisan commission. Voters are saying, actually, we'll take it back. We're going to go with Governor Newsom on this, and we're going to take it back for the rest of this decade. The reason why? Look at what's happening across the country, Lindsay. States including Texas, Missouri, Ohio, North Carolina have already carved up their new districts. That's going to give Republicans potentially as many as 8 additional districts. And Mary Bruce, who's with us in the studio right now, even with that win in California, that only takes 5 off the board. It's still advantaged Republicans, but this is a big step and might be the most consequential thing that happens tonight for the midterms in 2028.
And of course, all of this started as an effort to counter what was happening in Texas. But the concern, does this then set off an even bigger, greater sort of redistricting nuclear arms race across the country?
That's 100% right. And there are other states that are watching all of this and thinking about it, including some red states like Kansas, Louisiana, Indiana, some blue states like Virginia. Big boost for them today. Maryland.
For those of you that are happy about California, let's just say being Democrat, what is it about the Democrat leadership in California that you're happy about? I'm curious to know.
Maryland, Illinois as well. And here is the real interesting thing, is that this is what the current map looks like.
Why do you want California to be Democrat? What are Democrats doing for you in California, in my state? And what is it? So there's 2 things. What about Democrats do you like? And in California, what are they doing for you? And what is Gavin Newsom doing for you?
Like in the Deep South, you still have 24 Democrats there. The Supreme Court could take a knife to the Voting Rights Act, and you could see maybe half of that number go away entirely.
Saying anything, and Terry in the chat says anything is better than a Republican. Why? Tell me why.
It gets to that full-fledged war. Not clear that all of that can happen before the midterms, but clearly we're already seeing the districts drawn in all these different ways, and it is still advantage Republicans.
Tony says you're not smart enough to understand. Are you smart enough to explain why you feel the way you feel?
And Avery, let's go back to you and take us through, the vote behind this and what we're seeing in these polls.
Right. In our exit poll, our preliminary exit poll data that we're getting out of California.
Terry says Republicans are taking our rights away. Which rights are they taking away?
We're looking at the feelings that some of these voters have had on the direction of the country. And so we see a vast majority, 73%, say that they are dissatisfied and angry with the direction of the country versus 27% who say they are enthusiastic and satisfied. Obviously, that bode well for...
How are Republicans taking away your free speech? Please let us know. We'd love to know how that's happening.
Yes, the Yes campaign in this race tonight. And then we're going to continue to take a look at what the reason was and what one of the reasons was behind folks' vote in California tonight.
Lama says, I feel this way because we have a rogue government right now. How do we have a rogue government right now?
51%.
You guys are saying a lot of things without actually saying anything.
Say that they voted yes on this ballot initiative to oppose Donald Trump. We know that he has been at the center of the pressure campaign that we've seen in Republican-led states to redraw districts in favor of Republicans. 8% said that they voted in order to.
Vinny says New York is effed even more now. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Oh, man. Taking away their welfare checks. That could be a reason why they're upset. Okay. Lama says they do whatever they want, legal or not. Explain anything that you're speaking about. Give actual specific things that you're talking about. You're just saying general shit.
To support Donald Trump, and 42% said it was not a factor. And then we can take a look at what folks said about, in general, should states' congressional districts be drawn by the party in power. Only 7% say that it should be drawn by the party in power. 92% say a nonpartisan commission should be drawing these congressional districts. Well, voters in California just voted.
Ryan Robbins says it says in the chat that engaging in lawfare against political opponents. Are you talking about the Democrats, right? How they did that with Trump?
Against that.
Yeah.
And so even though that is a staggering number, 92%, we see that voters in California are going to allow for that map to go through.
Wow.
And I think it's worth reminding everyone just how unusual this is, because while President Trump has put redistricting really, front and center in his midterm strategy, this is not how this is normally done, right? Normally, you only would redistrict after a census once a decade. So really, we're in uncharted territory.
Right, once a decade or in response to some sort of court order. And what we have seen across the country is really a partisan redrawing of congressional districts in different places.
And likely to possibly continue. And of course, Rick, if I can take this back to you as well, because this has been, it was a risk by Governor Gavin Newsom to do this. A lot of people thought there's no way this could happen, but it also lets him take center stage as someone who we know has, presidential ambitions. It's a win for him personally as well.
Oh boy, and what a risk it was. I mean, to go forward with this, as Avery just covered, the voters in California said they want this nonpartisan commission. It was a key reform that Governor Schwartz.
Wow, bro. Wow. They saw California. They're like, dude, before we lose California, before it's gone forever, while we still have idiots that will vote for these types of things, let's go ahead and push Prop 50 through. The libtards will vote for it, and we will fucking crush California. Wow.
Schwarzenegger.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Wow.
That's amazing. So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay.
Wow.
Put forward. And Newsom said, you know what? The reform's all fine, but
Satan is your daddy. How did you become gay? Satan is your daddy, woman.
I'm going to fight fire with fire. And he's doing the same thing with Donald Trump every day. Then he did something just a couple of weeks ago that I have never seen in my lifetime of covering politics. He said, stop sending us money. We have enough. We're doing okay. Imagine how bad it would be if he loses after that. But I said a moment ago, this might be the biggest thing for the midterms in 2026. It might also be the biggest thing that happens for the presidential election in 2028, because now Gavin Newsom can say, look, I am not just talking the talk. I
agree with Quantum. He says, I do have a problem with people expecting free food. Why should it be free for able-bodied people? Good question. Wow,
done,
guys.
Pushing back at Donald Trump in a way that Democrats want.
Does it really position him as sort of, the leader of the opposition in some ways?
I think this puts him front and center of any conversation around who the leader of the party will be, because he can say.
Michael Montoya says, you using voiceover from the closet gay man is hilarious. What does that even mean?
Look at all these states out there, and it's nice that you have these Democratic governors in these places or Democratic legislators. Look what I actually did. I was able to muscle through in record time a brand new electoral map that fights fire with fire, that does to Republicans in California what was just done to Democrats in Texas and all these other places.
And again, talk us through some of the other states where we may see similar efforts, if you can.
Yeah, no, happy to do it. So this really started with Texas, which right now is poised. This is the new map that will be placed in Texas. Look what they did. They just took it down to the urban areas. It's just the Dallases and the San Antonios and the El Pasos and the Austins that are going to have any Democratic representation at all. 5 seats. The Democrats now have 13. It's probably going to go down to as few as 8. So that's what sparked.
Oh, you like Jesse Lee Peterson? Here, I'll play you some more.
So you're gay?
So Michael.
So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. How did you become gay? How did you become gay?
Come on, Michael, don't be a beta.
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 Beta. That's amazing.
Spark what California did. Now in some of these other states, Utah is Avery.
Michael, come on, man. Are you getting triggered because you're a beta? You're a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
Very well knows is under a court order. That's all Republican delegation.
You are a Trump hater, and you are a beta male.
You are a Trump hater, And you're a beta male.
Ready, so that's not really going to make a difference. In fact, it could help Democrats. But Kansas, they're running into some trouble there. Indiana's been a little stop and start. Florida with Governor DeSantis, I have to think this is going to get more talk there. Same thing with Louisiana. The flip side is Virginia, which, again, the big win by the Democrats tonight. We've seen Governor Moore get involved again in Maryland, Governor Pritzker in Illinois. All is said and done. Maybe the Republicans end up netting 3, 4, 5 seats, but it could have been and would have been a lot worse without what just happened in California.
And with a margin so slim, you know, every seat counts.
Every single seat. I mean, it is wild to remember.
Hey, Ryan, you too, bro.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Just how close things are. And it's going to get closer already.
Bro, guys, we got cooked. We got cooked on this one. This was a dirty election day for us, bro. Wow.
There's a special election tonight in Texas. There's a seat that's going to get filled. Democrats need to flip just 3 seats. So that's the kind of margin we're talking about here going into the midterms next year.
And we are off to the races. Rick, thank you.
We got cooked, ladies and gentlemen.
Avery as well. Lindsay, back to you.
All right, Mary.
The libtards, I didn't I was going to say we underestimated them. I didn't. I'm not surprised. But it's just when it actually goes down and it happens, you're like, wow, it throws you back, bro. You're like, you guys voted a Muslim socialist to be the mayor of New York City. New York City? Yeah.
Thank you. John, back here with you. We talked earlier about how
wow.
you discussed with Governor Newsom the idea of Proposition 50. How did he respond? Was he expecting?
Fargo says, what's wrong with Muslims? Sorry, brother, but we don't have enough time on this stream to go through that right now.
Expecting that
the list is too long.
This was going to be the outcome.
Absolutely, he was expecting, as Rick Klein pointed.
Same with you, Dan. Sorry, but the list is too long. We don't have enough time.
Pointed out, he actually, since we spoke, he told people to stop donating money to this cause, donate it to other Democratic causes. He was so confident. But what was interesting in the conversation, I went out to California to interview him, is I said, do Democrats need to prevail on Proposition 50? Do they need those extra 5 seats to be able to win back the House?
Where do you begin, bro? Wow.
He said no. I think California and he was confident they were going to prevail here. That those 5 seats will become a footnote because it'll be such a wave election.
Islam destroyed the country that my parents came from. I'll tell you that. Islam completely obliterated the country. It took it back easily 2,000 years, bro.
Rejection of Donald Trump and his policies and Republican policies in the midterms. Now, that could have been bravado, but if the trends you saw tonight continue into next year's midterm elections, you could see something approaching a real wave election.
And when Islam went in and destroyed the country my parents came from, it came in promising the same socialist things that Mamdani was promising. No joke.
And
transportation, free water, free this, free that. He didn't say water yet, but he's going to be, they're going to socialize and it's going to become communism.
Switch gears back to this New York City mayoral race as we're waiting for Zohran Mamdani to take the stage.
W. Ryan Robbins, I'll give you 1 W, bro, from this whole chat. All this nonsense you've been spewing in the chat, I'll give you 1 W. You're on. That's true.
We talked ad nauseum really about the promises that he made with regard to childcare and busing for free and freezing the rent. Can he get any of these promises across the finish line without the sign-off of Governor Hochul?
Well,
communism in NYC. Yep. It's a disaster, bro.
There are things he can get done.
Wow. Is he talking live right now, Mamdani? Let's pull him up.
Thank you, my friends. The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said, I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity. For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers bruised from lifting boxes on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater.
Wow.
Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
Wow.
I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change, a mandate for a new kind of politics, a mandate for a city we can afford, and a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that. On January 1st, I will be sworn in as the mayor of New York City. And that is because of you. So before I say anything else, I must say this. Thank you. Thank you to the next generation of New Yorkers who refused to accept that the promise of a better future was a relic of the past. You showed that when politics speaks to you without condescension, we can usher in a new era of leadership. We will fight for you because we are you. Or as we say on Steinway, ana minkum wa ilaykum. Thank you to those so often forgotten by the politics of our city who made this movement their own. I speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses.
Wow. Bro, NYC is done, bro.
Yes, aunties.
NYC is done.
To every New Yorker in Kensington and Midwood and Hunts Point, know this. This city is your city, and this democracy is yours too. This campaign is about people like Wesley, an $11.99 organizer I met outside of Elmhurst Hospital on Thursday night. A New Yorker who lives elsewhere, who commutes 2 hours each way from Pennsylvania because rent is too expensive in this city. It's about people like the woman I met on the BX33 years ago, who said to me, I used to love New York, but now it's just where I live. And it's about people like Richard, The taxi driver I went on a 15-day hunger strike with outside of City Hall, who still has to drive his cab 7 days a week. My brother, we are in City Hall now. This victory is for all of them, and it's for all of you. The more than 100,000 volunteers who built this campaign into an unstoppable force. Because of you, we will make this city one that working people can love and live in again. With every door knocked, every petition signature earned, and every hard-earned conversation, you eroded the cynicism that has come to define our politics. Now, I know that I have asked for much from you over this last year. Time and again, you have answered my calls. But I have one final request. New York City, breathe this moment in. We have held our breath for longer than we know. We have held it in anticipation of defeat. Held it because the air has been knocked out of our lungs too many times to count. Held it because we cannot afford to exhale. Thanks to all of those who sacrificed so much, we are breathing in the air of a city that has been reborn. To my campaign team, who believed when no one else did, and who took an electoral project and turned it into so much more, I will never be able to express the depth of my gratitude. You can sleep now. To my parents, Mama and Baba, you have made me into the man I am today. I am so proud to be your son. And to my incredible wife, Rama, Hayati, there is no one I would rather have by my side in this moment and in every moment. To every New Yorker, whether you voted for me, for one of my opponents, or felt too disappointed by politics to vote at all, thank you for the opportunity to prove myself worthy of your trust. I will wake each morning with a singular purpose: to make this city better for you than it was the day before. There are many who thought this day would never come, who feared that we would be condemned only to a future of less, with every election consigning us simply to more of the same. And there are others who see politics today as too cruel for the flame of hope to still burn. New York, we have answered those fears. Tonight, we have spoken in a clear voice. Hope is alive. Hope is a decision that tens of thousands of New Yorkers made day after day, volunteer shift after volunteer shift, despite attack ad after attack ad.
So all this for free transportation and government grocery stores. Huh.
More than 1 million of us stood in our churches, in gymnasiums, in community centers, as we filled in the ledger of democracy. And while we cast our ballots alone, we chose hope together.
That'd be a beautiful bill, bro.
Hope over tyranny. Hope over big money and small ideas. Hope over despair. We won because New Yorkers allowed themselves to hope that the impossible could be made possible.
No, because New Yorkers have green and blue hair, bro. That's how you won. You won because New Yorkers literally have green and blue hair. And are Z, Zer, and they, them. That's how you won.
Something that is done to us. Now it is something that we do.
And they want everything for free. They want zero responsibility, and they want the other people to work. They want to tax people that make money so that they can do nothing. They want to not work ever again. That's how you won. Socialism that leads to communism under the guise of communism. Communism under the guise of socialism.
Standing before you, I think of the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. A moment comes but rarely in history when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation long suppressed finds utterance. Tonight we have stepped out from the old into the new.
Mish in the chat says, all these tasty MAGA tears.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
It's not tears. It's disappointment in my fellow Americans. Like yourself. Because Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
So let us speak now with clarity and conviction that cannot be misunderstood about what this new age
Disappointment in my fellow Americans. And that's you.
will deliver and for whom. This will be an age
And that's
where
you.
New Yorkers expect from their leaders a bold vision of what we will achieve, rather than a
for those of you like Dan in the chat,
beta,
saying he wants to cry, haha. First of all, super lame. Second of all, we're going to watch you guys keep shedding your tears as you have for the last 9 months. And Trump is still your daddy for the next 3 years. And the next 4 years after that, Trump 2028.
list of excuses for what we are too timid to attempt.
That's amazing.
Trump 2028.
Central to that
That's
vision
what
will be
we're
the
talking
most
about.
ambitious agenda to tackle the
We'll let you take the NYC and turn it into a dump shithole. But Trump is still your daddy, bro.
cost of living crisis that
Trump is the great white hope, baby.
The great white hope.
And your daddy.
this city has seen since the days of Fiorello LaGuardia.
Love watching those liberal tears, bro, for Trump. So good.
An agenda that will freeze the rents for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. Make buses fast and free. And deliver universal child care across our city.
Trump is your daddy, Dan. Love your tears, bro. Thank you for your liberal tears. Trump is your daddy, and he will continue to be for the next 38 months.
Years from now.
And then we're going to have Trump 2028.
May our only regret be that this day took so long to come. This new age.
What they don't understand about NYC and about this guy that they just elected is he wants to make trains faster and free. So take the money away from them and then make them faster. So he wants to do what? Tax the rich. When the rich get taxed more, what do? They do two different things. When the rich get taxed more, they either leave, they take their taxable income, businesses, or whatever it is that is being taxed elsewhere while they still hang out there, or they do other things with their money that is not taxable to avoid the taxes. They already have money. They're just going to do other things with it that gets taxed less. What happens when you lose the taxes from the people that you're trying to tax to pay for all the stuff? you got to tax someone else. Guess who those other people are? That's everyone else in New York. The people that think tax the rich. And as we said before, the rich are only the rich for a short period of time. The tax brackets of the top 20% and the bottom 20% within 10 years many times switch places. So the people pointing and saying tax the rich are very much taxing themselves. Who are the people that make low incomes in New York and California? They are people that are just starting their lives. They're younger people. Of course, they make less money. But they quickly make more money and get into the categories of the people that they want to tax more. Sad but true.
Will be one of relentless improvement. We will hire thousands more teachers. We will cut waste from a bloated bureaucracy. We will work tirelessly to make lights shine again in the...
Fortunately, I don't live there. But it's sad to see and disappointing to see my fellow Americans act like retards.
The hallways of NYCHA developments where they have long flickered.
Not surprising, though. Not surprised.
Safety and justice
Disappointed.
will go
Not
hand
surprised.
in hand as we work with police officers to reduce
Straight
crime
retards.
and create a department of community safety that tackles the mental health crisis and homelessness crises head on.
Straight retards, bro. The guy wants to send out, what is it? Who does he want to send out instead of cops? Therapists, family therapists to domestic violence calls.
Excellence will become the expectation across government, not the exception. In this new age,
I want to see the numbers, man. I want to see the statistics and the numbers. I already know numbers from history, so this is all this. I mean, it's disappointing, but it's going to be interesting to see how everything he's talking about will affect the people he's trying to help the most. It will affect them inversely the most.
we make for ourselves. We will refuse to allow those who traffic in division and hate to pit us against one another. In this moment of political darkness, New York will be the light. Here, we believe.
Bro, it's not about those of you talking about trickle down. Who is this? Dan M, another retard. It's not about trickle down. Nobody said trickle down, bro. It's not about trickle down. It's oh yeah, city kitty, same thing. It's not about trickle down. It's about capitalism. You have the opportunity to do it. You have the chance to do it with capitalism, not with socialism.
Believe in standing up
not with communism.
for those we love.
Not with Islam.
Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too. And we will build a city hall that stands steadfast alongside Jewish New Yorkers and does not waver in the fight against the scourge of anti-Semitism. Where the more than 1 million Muslims know that they belong.
Crystal Reynolds in the chat said it properly. Capitalism gives you equal chances. Socialism gives you equal outcomes. Exactly.
Not just in the 5 boroughs of this city, but in the halls of power. No more will New York be a city where you can traffic in Islamophobia and win an election.
No such thing as Islamophobia, first of all. Second of all, Steve is right. He says, this man is all pretty words, and I'm with you, and absolutely zero plans.
This new age will be defined by a competence and a compassion that have too long been placed at odds with one another. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about. For years, those in City Hall have only helped those who can help them. But on January 1st, we will usher in a city government that helps everyone. Now, I know that many have heard our message only through the prism of misinformation. Tens of millions of dollars have been spent to redefine reality and to convince our neighbors that this new age is something that should frighten them.
I already have another question I want to ask my next guest that I interview this weekend. We got a lot to talk about.
It has so often occurred. The billionaire class has sought to convince those making $30 an hour that their enemies are those earning $20 an hour. They want the people to fight amongst ourselves so that we remain distracted from the work of remaking a long broken system. We refuse to let them dictate the rules of the game anymore. They can play by the same rules as the rest of us. Together, we will usher in a generation of change. And if we embrace this brave new course, rather than fleeing from it, we can respond.
Dan says, with capitalism, markets reward capital more than labor. No, they reward people for doing shit, going out and actually working hard and doing stuff, making things happen. That's what capitalism rewards.
To oligarchy and authoritarianism with the strength it fears.
And you have to make capital to make your capital work for you, for what you're saying to be true. But first, you have to have the freedom of capitalism to be able to do things, create, and make money from things that you actually build and create.
There's not the appeasement it craves. After all,
people that say they're not in favor of capitalism are lazy bums.
If anyone can show a
Literally lazy bums.
nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him.
This person, Absurd Thought, says the owners of the means of production make nothing. They're saying that the people that own these companies don't do anything. They forget about the part where the owners of the company killed themselves to build those companies from zero. From zero. Coming from a person that has struggled his whole life, myself, struggled my whole life to have a successful company. Now I have 3 successful companies, but it took me 30 years of failing at it, working till 3 a.m. on failing companies to finally have successful companies. In the end, people just see, what do they call that? They call that it took 10 minutes to become, it took 10 years to become an overnight success. And that's what people see. They don't see the hard work that goes into it. And that's why losers and lazy bums will be quick to say things like people that own these companies don't do the work.
And if there is any way to terrify a despot, it is by dismantling the very...
Because they don't see any of the hard work. People don't get it. It takes... For me, it took 30 years to become an overnight success. For most, it never happens. But they don't see all that. They just see, oh, some guy owns something and he's not actually on the floor building it himself. And so they make retarded comments like this person does.
Conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Yeah, turn the volume up on the Muslim prayer calls in New York. Put them on the loudspeakers. Let's go. Zoran is your new mayor. Let's go. Turn it on. Put the loudspeakers up on the buildings, bro. Let's do it. Sharia law, ladies and gentlemen.
We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billions.
Matthew Gardner says, if it was easy, everyone would do it. Exactly, bro.
Millionaires like Trump to
W.
evade
Matthew, bro,
taxation
exactly.
and exploit tax breaks. We will stay.
And I forgot your name, bro. The guy with this funny the things I don't know. I can't read. Is it Lex? Was it Lex? Is that your name? He says, "Let Allah show the New York trans community how much they are loved." It is Lex. I was right. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed.
All right. Well, shit. He's calling already for destroying business owners. So, wow, you guys are getting your socialism. It's happening, and communism to follow real quick. Guys, for those of you that want to chat and hang out off stream, we have an awesome Discord. Feel free to jump on Discord. Link is in my channel homepage on my channel, my YouTube channel. We have a great Discord. We can chat. I'm taking callers, guys. If someone wants to call, I'm happy to take a caller live right now.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants.
Was never built by immigrants. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
It was not built by immigrants. That's a lie.
Man, be a alpha male, not a beta male. That's a lie.
Powered by immigrants. And as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
Absurd Thought says immigrants are true Americans. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
Are you out of your cotton picking mind?
So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to...
Dudes are telling me to Google Ellis Island, bro. I know what Ellis Island, bro. I don't need to Google it like you retards.
Any of us, you will...
It's where immigrants came, bro. Yeah, it's one of the places they came.
have to get through all of us. When we enter City Hall in 58 days.
No, bro, no. There are people that created this country, and then there are people that immigrated to this country when it became a country. You're the moron, bro. Think about it.
Expectations will be high.
Yep. There's a difference. There's a difference.
A great New Yorker once said,
that's what I thought, absurd.
That while you
That's what I
in
thought.
poetry,
Yeah.
you govern in prose.
And by the way, Trump is your daddy.
If that must be true, let the prose we write still rhyme, and let us build a shining city for all.
You like my hat,
And
huh?
we must chart a new path, as bold as the one we have already traveled.
Trump 2028.
After all, the conventional wisdom would tell you that I am far from the perfect candidate. I am young, despite my best efforts to grow older.
You're young and retarded.
I am Muslim.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I am a democratic socialist. most damning of all, I refuse to apologize for any of this. And yet, if tonight teaches us anything, it is that convention has held us back. We have bowed at the altar of caution, and we have paid a mighty price. Too many working people cannot recognize themselves in our party. And too many among us have turned to the right for answers to why they've been left behind. We will leave mediocrity in our past.
W tomorrow, bro.
No longer will we have to open a history book for proof that Democrats can dare to be great. Our greatness will be anything but abstract. It will be felt by every rent-stabilized tenant who wakes up on the first of every month, knowing the amount they're going to pay hasn't soared since the month before. It will be felt by each grandparent who can afford to stay in the home they have worked for and whose grandchildren live nearby.
These are the same people that are for minimum wages. These are the same people that want minimum wages. These are the same people that want people to be on SNAP benefits for their lifetimes. These are the same people giving those people free housing. These are the same people giving those same people free health care for life.
Because the cost of childcare didn't send them to Long Island.
Stuck on the government's titty for life. Getting paid with your tax dollars.
It will be felt by the single mother who is safe on her commute and whose bus runs fast enough that she doesn't have to rush school drop-off to make it to work on time. And it will be felt when New Yorkers open their newspapers in the morning and read headlines of success, not scandal. Most of all, it will be felt by each New Yorker when the city they love finally loves them.
Huey says, "You sound stupid." Wow, bro. Thank you. That was an amazing comment, man. You're saying too much there, bud.
Back.
Huey, don't be a beta, bro.
Beta. Beta.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Come on, bro.
Together, New York, we're going to freeze the... Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and... Together, New York, we're going to deliver universal... Let the words we've spoken together, the dreams we've dreamt together, become the agenda we deliver together.
Wow.
New York, this power, it's yours. This city belongs to you. Thank you.
Wow. Zoran the Moron with his Arabic music, bro. Wow. NYC is Dunsky, bro. NYC is Dunsky. Wow. Woo. Holy smokes. Wow. Can you believe that? Incredible. I agree. The music sucks.
The state of California did tonight to send a powerful message to an historic president. Donald Trump is an historic president. He is the most historically unpopular president in modern history.
Actually, historically popular.
In every
it's the exact opposite.
Critical category, Donald Trump is underwater. He promised to make...
In every category, you are underwater. You took all of California's money to promise to help homeless, and you actually don't even know where any of the money went.
Because healthier, he promised to... make us wealthier. We're sicker and poorer. And he fundamentally understands that.
Typical Democrat.
Why else?
Blame everyone else but yourself. You destroyed California that I'm born and raised in. You single-handedly for the last 10 to 15 years destroyed California.
Why else would he call Greg Abbott saying he's entitled to 5 seats? Why else is he trying to rig the midterm elections before one single vote is even cast? He understands his position at this moment in the United States of America. One thing he never counted on, though, was the state of California. Instead of agonizing over the state of our nation, we organized in an unprecedented way in a 90-day sprint. People from all over the United States of America contributed their voices and their support for this initiative. We stood tall and we stood.
Somebody in the chat said California is propping up the country. How? How so?
Firm in response to Donald Trump's recklessness.
How is California propping up the country?
And
Dan said that in the chat. How is California propping up the country?
Tonight, after poking the bear, this bear roared with an unprecedented turnout in a special election with an extraordinary result. None of us, however, are naive. This is a pattern. This is a practice. Donald Trump's efforts to rig the midterm election continue to this day. And I'll reinforce that in just a moment. You're seeing him take action all across this country.
Huey says because they pay all the red state welfare. No. By the way, welfare is the thing hurting the very people you think it's helping.
Not just in Texas. You saw what they were able to do in Missouri, what they did in North Carolina, what they're trying to do in Indiana, and inevitably in Florida. They are not screwing around.
Welfare and subsidies from the government are literally doing the exact opposite for the people that they're intended to do.
In June of this year, we saw 4,000 National Guard federalized in the state of California. We saw 700 active duty Marines not sent
And you needed more.
overseas, but sent to the second largest city in the United States of America to militarize our streets. We said in June this was a preview of things to come. What more evidence do you need than what happened in Washington, D.C.? What's happening?
Sam says, what is your solution on healthcare? Well, that's not for me to decide, and that's not my area of expertise. But I can use my brain and my eyes and my experience and say that Obamacare it did the exact opposite of what it promised to do.
Up in Portland.
And it's not good.
Cities like Chicago. When we kicked off this campaign just 90 or so days ago in Little Tokyo, in Southern California, in LA, at the Democracy Center, Donald Trump sent Greg Bovino. He sent his private police force that increasingly appears to have taken an oath of office to Donald Trump, not to the Constitution of the United States. He sent them to our kickoff rally to chill free expression, to chill free speech, to intimidate people from participating. Just today, in Los Angeles, Donald Trump called up the Border Patrol, sent them to Dodger Stadium.
Good.
And threw a fastball at free speech. Right in the head.
Not at free speech.
Expression.
Hopefully at you.
To suppress the vote in America's second largest city. Just did that today. People in tactical gears sent out to intimidate a community that is all...
Oh, don't worry about it, Nathan, bro. I could take it. I'm not like these snowflakes, bro. Words are amazing, bro, but they can't hurt me. They're fun. They're entertaining, but you can't hurt my feelings with words, bro. It's you guys on the left. You guys are the ones that go crying whenever we use words.
Ready on edge. But you see, as we speak, people are still in line. People waiting up 3 hours to cast.
I just want to see how that's going to sound. Like, I'm still trying to picture the Muslim prayer calls in New York. It's going to be wild. It's going to be insane, bro.
Their vote to send a message.
I'm just thinking, like, what would our founding fathers think if they knew who just got elected to the mayor of NYC?
To Donald Trump. No
Can you
crowns,
imagine?
No thrones,
Wow.
no kings.
Imagine bringing back like any of them, bro. Pick any of them, any of our founding fathers, and say, "Hey, dude, guess what? We just hired a communist Muslim to become the mayor of NYC."
That's what this victory represents. It's a victory for the people of the state of California and the United States of
He
America.
is a communist.
And this is a victory that's punctuated with a sober reminder that it's not just the actions that Donald Trump has taken to federalize.
They would lose it, Jay Cricket. And Cheryl says, big speakers with prayer at 5 a.m. every day. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, he is, Manuel. He is. And by the way, look throughout the history. I mean, if any of you guys, well, Democrats don't actually look into like numbers and facts and history and see how things played out. Communism always started out as this cute little socialist thing. And that's how they got people bought in. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're doing what Stalin did.
Our guard to begin the process of militarizing American cities, to intimidate free expression and speech by utilizing ICE and Border Patrol in American cities. But he also announced today, right when polls were opening, that this election was rigged. That this election was rigged.
It is rigged.
Of course, those are familiar words. It's exactly what Donald Trump said after January 6th, that day of love, where he tried to light democracy on fire. He tried to wreck this country, and he called in to the Secretary of State in Georgia, calling up for 11,000, 12,000 votes, just like he called Greg Abbott, saying he's entitled to those 5 seats. He said this election was rigged, and he's moving to look for criminal prosecution and investigations at the Department of Justice. He is not screwing around. So tonight, I'm proud, but I'm very mindful and sober of the moment we are living in. Donald Trump.
In the chat, Lee Nelson said, Lee Nelson, bro. Lee Nelson in the chat said, these morons think Zoran's election is a bad thing for MAGA. He's talking about the Democrats in the chat. That's why when they're saying MAGA tears, and I said, no, it's not MAGA tears. It's a disappointment in my fellow Americans. I don't live in New York. I feel bad for the people that are going to have to, deal with the repercussions of electing Zoran Mamdani. But I personally don't live there. Yeah, I'll visit it once in a while, but again, for me, it's good times. But it's not a bad thing for MAGA. It's actually a good thing for MAGA. Zoran Mamdani getting elected, it just shows how loony the far left really is. And again, we have history. We know what happens when what Mamdani wants to put into place, when that shit gets actually implemented and becomes effective. It's going to be, the numbers are going to speak for themselves. Now, the problem, it's not a problem for MAGA. The problem for the Democrats and for the people living in those in those areas, is they're going to be affected by it. But they're not going to see the numbers. And their media is not going to show them where the socialism and communism is failing on them. So they won't get it. We'll get it because we listen to news that tells the truth. We look at facts, we look at places, we read, we actually dig in before we open our mouths. So, but they won't. That's the problem. They won't. They'll have to deal with the repercussions, and they won't know. They won't know how bad it's hurting them. They're going to keep like Cheryl said, they'll be blaming Trump. They're going to feel it. And they're going to be blaming Trump. Manuel Correa is in the chat saying he's not bringing communism or socialism. That's exactly what he is bringing. Like, you've been that brainwashed to think he's not bringing that? That's literally exactly what he said it himself, bro. Are you okay? Like, what are you even talking about? The guy himself said he's a self-proclaimed socialist. This guy's lost. This guy in the chat is in La La Land, bro.
Trump does not believe in fair and free elections. Period and full stop. This is not complicated, and it's self-evident to any.
And so now he's gonna point to Cuomo and some cases and some stuff. Oh my God, bro, what a loser!
Anyone.
You can't admit that you just got happy about a socialist, communist, Muslim that just got elected, bro. You can't admit it. I know it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, bro. You just elected a socialist, communist, Muslim that just played Arabic music as he got elected. You just elected a socialist, communist, Muslim to be the mayor of NYC, and you're happy. You're jumping up and down. Wow. Wow, bro. Oh my God, bro. It's all jacked up, dude. You just elected a socialist, a communist Muslim. Playing Arabic music in the biggest city of our nation. And you're jumping up and down. Oh, man. And people wonder why we need Trump. And people wonder why Trump is doing what he does. Those are words I've never seen together, and I don't think I'll ever see again. Here's words that I've never seen together in one sentence. Arabic music slaps. I gotta pin it. I'm gonna pin that. You know what, bro? You win for pin comment. Yours is the only other comment I've ever replaced pin message. Here you go. Arabic music slaps. Oh man, that is good. That is good. Arabic music slaps. Wow.
Paying attention. you start to stack up all of these actions that continue to this moment and will continue in moments to come. If you think I'm exaggerating, consider his announcement just a few weeks ago to send rapid response teams all across the United States, in all 50 states, tens of thousands of members of the military.
Cheryl, I'm gonna die laughing. If they do that, bro, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, bro. We're gonna do a live, Cheryl, we'll do a live stream where we're just dying, we're just laughing our asses off, dude. With them playing, we'll just literally do it'll be on a loop. Arabic prayers in New York on a loop, and us just laughing our asses off.
For urban deployment. A preview of things to come. But back to this state. Our state of mind was resolute. Our state of mind was resolved.
Your state of mind was resolute when you decided to take all of California's money and give us nothing for it. There's no rail. You took all billions for some rail. You built nothing. You took billions to fix homelessness. Don't even know where the money is. Literally has no. He got asked where's the money. He's like, I don't know. And then he blamed like someone else in his government underneath him. You're the racist. Absurd. You're the racist. Don't try to pin it on us. You're the racist.
To stand firm and to stand tall, to not be intimidated.
You're the bigot. You're the commie.
To not be humiliated, to not fall prey to cynicism, to not fall prey to fear and the anxiety of someone that believes in only one thing, shock and awe.
Arabic music slaps.
To intimidate and exhaust us.
Arabic music slaps.
What we're seeing all across this country, 7 million people strong, standing up, not just for themselves, but for each other.
You don't even know what socialism is, bro.
And for these.
Jay Cricket, bro, is this like, what? This is comedy night, bro. Arabic music slaps.
During an historic principles of our founding fathers. And I'll end on that. Next year is the 250th anniversary.
Hey, guys. Hey, by the way, we're at 8,420 subs. Happy 420, guys.
Of the best of Roman
8420. Oh, we just got the 421.
This fundamental notion of a system of checks and balances. A popular sovereignty. The rule of law. Mr. President, the rule of law, not the rule of dawn. And I hope it's dawning on people.
You're hoping what's dawning on people? That you locked people up for COVID and told them they can't go to restaurants while you literally went to a restaurant with all of your friends? And we have it literally recorded? What do you want to be dawning on us? That you took billions of dollars and have no idea where it went? You destroyed our state of California? What do you want to dawn on us, bro?
The sobriety.
That you cheated on your wife and banged your friend's wife. You banged your friend's wife and you said you didn't and you lied to everyone. And then now you want to come, a couple days ago, you want to come on TV and say you hate liars? What do you want exactly to dawn on us,
at this
bro?
Moment, what's at stake? Tonight, as I said, is an extraordinary
What's
moment.
at stake? I don't know. What was at stake on your table at the French Laundry when you told us we all have to be locked up for COVID? We can't go to any restaurant and you're in French Laundry with no masks on with all your friends hanging out. Doing everything you said nobody can do.
For our party, but again, it's an extraordinary moment affirming those
What
principles.
exactly do you want to dawn on us, Mr. Loser?
Founding fathers did not live and die to see the kind of vandalism to this republic and our democracy that Donald Trump is trying to perpetuate. And so my call tonight in the spirit of Whitman talked about the powerful play goes on. We all must contribute a verse. And so we need the state of Virginia. We need the state of Maryland. We need our friends in New York and Illinois and Colorado. We need to see other states with the remarkable leaders that have been doing.
You don't even know what socialism is. You keep throwing the word around. You have no idea what it is. That's the problem, bro. You got liberals that don't even liberals calling themselves socialists just because they know that they screwed up so bad as liberals that they don't even want to be called liberals anymore. They're like, no, we're not liberals anymore. No, I'm a socialist now. They still they have no idea what it means. They did the free Palestines and the free this and the free that and the BLMs and all this stuff so much. They jacked themselves up so bad. They try to put men in women's sports and all this crazy stuff. So, dude, they destroyed the Democratic Party, and now they're gonna call them. No, we're not. No, actually, I'm not liberal. I'm a socialist. That's their new tagline. Oh, bro, you can't make this up, bro. You can't. And then they want to come up with these new words and then have you to say you don't even know what it is. Bro, we've been studying this shit way before you decided you're going to just magically, just like they change, guys, just like they changed their genders every morning. There's a new gender. You know what? This morning, you know what? I feel like a Z-zer. And then the next morning they wake up. You know what? Actually, this morning, you know what? I don't feel like a guy. I don't feel like a girl. I'm non-binary today. Okay? So then they wake up. All of a sudden, now they're socialist. I'm not liberal. You know what? I'm socialist now. You're like, well, you're socialist. Yeah, and you don't know what that is. So you know what? Yeah, I'm socialist. It's this really like socialism thing that you don't even know about. The reason why people on the right don't like socialism and communism is because we actually do homework. We actually know what the fuck we're talking about. That's why. We know what the hell we're talking about. You just woke up because the liberalness is so tainted. You decided that all of a sudden now you're going to be socialist. Just like Trump. I got to put Trump on. Just when like Trump was talking about Kamala, this whole time she was Indian. Then all of a sudden she's black. Now she's black. All the same, bro. You're all the same. They don't stand on anything concrete. So they have to keep changing shit. They have to keep changing their identity, what they identify with. Right? They keep changing everything. Why would someone change everything they identify with all throughout their lives? Because they don't stand on anything concrete. That's why. That's why. Yep. There's not concrete whatsoever. And when it gets scrutinized for the right reasons, they're like, oh shit, this is actually some dumbass shit I'm doing, bro. I'm doing some dumbass shit right now. And now that they bring it up to me and they show me the videos of what I was doing yesterday, that sounds pretty fucking dumb. No, I'm not liberal anymore. Actually, I'm a socialist now. Guess what they're going to be after socialists, guys? Let me see if you guys can guess in the chat. Let me know what do you guys think when they're done with socialism, what are they going to be next? What's the natural progression for them? Nathan, user, you guys called it communist. Once they're done being socialist, they're going to say, wait, you know what? No, I'm not social. No, I'm not. No. Now I'm communist. Now, my question is, do they go straight to communism or do they go to what this other person said in the chat? Who was it? Where is it at? Brian McClenahan. Do they go straight to communism or do they make a stop at Marxism on their way to, or is it, or are they going to go to communism and then Marx? Like, what are they going to exactly do there? Brian McClellan says, no, they'll skip communism because of Putin. They'll wait till the very end because they're going to end up liking Putin after all that, right? Let me guess. I think you're right, bro. Oh my God, bro. I think that, bro, should we call it? Should we call it and write it down and then we'll circle back as it happens and you see everyone in the chat. No, I'm a communist. They're going to, in the chat, they're going to say communist. No, sorry. Marxist, right? Are they going to go Marxist first or communism? Marxist. Because of Putin, they're going to save communism to the very end. What a joke. Okay, guys, I think we've seen enough tonight. We've had enough fun. And I think the key takeaway from tonight, Eve in the chat says the Democrats were birthed out of Marxist. Well, I got this book right here. I know what Marxism is in a general sense, but I want to learn more about Marxism. So I'm going to read this book. It's unopened. I haven't even cracked it open yet. I paid way too much for this, by the way. If you're wondering, if you want to know, I'll tell you what I paid for this. And you can search what this goes for brand new right now. This is a brand new copy of this book. You're not going to like what I paid for it. But I know what Marxism is, yes, in a general sense. But I do want to learn the nuts and bolts. It's by Thomas Sowell. And I'm going to learn about the nuts and bolts of Marxism from someone that knows how to talk. But I paid more than you guys would want me to pay for this book. Trust me. Yeah, I really did. I paid $300 for this book. Yeah. Literally paid $300. However, this book that I'm holding in my hand right now, this book that I paid $300 for, brand new, like the copy that I'm holding in my hand, brand new. This book is selling on Amazon right now for $1,100. Should I sell it? This is a hardcover, a new hardcover of Marxism by Thomas Sowell. Brand new, never opened, just still in package or whatever. Yeah. If you go to Amazon right now, look up that book, Thomas Sowell, Marxism. It's $1,100 brand new. Yeah. I bought it for $300. I already knew I knew they were going for more. I'm not a moron. I mean, sometimes I do some dumb shit when I like something. Sometimes I spend good money. Like when I bought this, but I love it. So I'll do it all day, every day. Like when I bought this. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And when I bought this. Sometimes I do it. Not always. But Thomas Sowell's the man. He writes really well, and I enjoy reading his books because they're clean. But $300, crazy, right? Look it up. There's only one. This is this edition. You can look it up. Here's the ISBN right here. There's the ISBN. Oh, let me move my hand. There's the ISBN right there. It's $1,100 now. I still want to just keep it and read it and have it for myself, pass it down to my kids or whatever. I want to make a library. I always wanted to make a library, you know, of all the books I read. But, you know, those are all, you know, I think all of us at some point would have, I don't know, maybe not all of us. Here's the other funny part is I've always wanted to make a library, and so did Miss Medication. She's always wanted to too. So who knows? Maybe we'll actually end up doing that damn thing. Create a nice library. But I don't know. I don't think I want to be one of those guys that has like when you look behind me and it's just a bunch of books behind me and you can't even see what they're just books. I think that's, I don't know. I think I need a actual library, a room that's an actual library with those like Herman Miller chairs with the ottoman. BTK, I agree. I agree with all you guys. Trinity, BTK. He deserves his own Presidential Medal of Freedom. Yeah, Heatwave says sell it. Heatwave says commie red. Yep. Oh, BTK, I missed this comment. BTK in the chat said, my family lived and died under communism. No one is a liberal here. Lee Nelson says the great Thomas Sowell. Yep. Trinity says Karl Marx knew how to take a nation down. Yeah, I can't wait to get into that book. I can't wait. Cheryl says, forget about going to NYC. I don't mind going to NYC. I'm down. I'll go have fun and do some rooftop, lounges and parties and have a few cigars here and there and go enjoy it and all the different types of, dude, I love their Italian food. They have some good, authentic, real Italian food that's like the Italian food that I love from Italy. But yeah. Absurd says that book will not be helpful to you, my man. Absurd, that book will be helpful, just like all the books that Thomas Sowell has written. I can't wait to jump into it. We're gonna read that book. I'm reading a bunch of other books. I love reading shit, man, and I take everything. Here's another one that's really good. You guys have probably read this. You guys have probably read that thing right there. There's all kinds of stuff to read. All sorts of stuff you can gain. Dude, we already went over our time for Instagram an hour ago. Instagram is so lame. It only lets you do an hour. Guys, we did a good live stream together. You guys that we don't agree with, or that I'll speak for myself. Those of you that I don't agree with, I'll just say good job hanging in the chat and speaking your mind. Honestly, as much as we have fun and tease each other, I appreciate the back and forth. I appreciate the dialogue. We should be able to have fun. Speak. Our minds, say things that people may not like to hear. That's the whole reason behind freedom of speech, freedom of expression. You should be able to say things I don't like to hear. I should be able to say things you don't like to hear, or else there's no point in freedom of speech. That's the reason it was designed. So we're going to continue doing that on my channel, and we're going to keep the dialogue open. If you want to keep talking off stream, you're welcome to join my Discord. We have an active community there, and I'll be back on tomorrow morning. I love this stuff. I love what I do. As you guys know about me, I run 3 other businesses that it took me 30 years to finally develop that, to make me money, to do something else that I really love, which is this. I love this. I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming along. I had fun. And you know, I'm a little disappointed, but not surprised. Okay. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. It's okay. You know, I don't live in those places. I do live in California, so that's a little wild, man, that redistricting. But I mean, we already know that as Californians, it's been an uphill battle ever since I was born and raised here, man. So it's not like a brand new thing. I didn't wake up and I wasn't born yesterday. But guys, again, I'm not going to make it any longer. Thank you again, and appreciate you guys. I'll be back on tomorrow twice. I got another guest that I already booked that I'm going to have on Sunday. So that's going to be really good live stream. But we'll do that and we'll have a good time. So appreciate you guys. Thank you again, and have a good night. Bye-bye.